When I think of Colorado, I think of crowded ski resorts, 14,000-foot peaks, and giant mule deer. I've spent very little time in the state, so this trip I'm hoping to get a glimpse into what the Centennial State has to offer. But our main focus is exploring that giant mule deer part of the equation. I finally burnt all my preference points that I've been accumulating over the years on a pretty sweet mule deer tag, I hope. Kara came along because she's a good glasser, good camera woman.
I'm just here to glass and pack.
Glass and pack.
Glass and pack.
All right. Our friend Bo Beatty put us in a great spot. He gave us some great intel, and so we started out the morning based on his intel, and it seems to be good. There are a lot of deer around, and one really nice buck. It was a little stressful getting here yesterday, I'll say.
Google Maps is not really being super friendly to us. Keeps kicking us off the interstate to get back on the interstate.
Where am I going? I don't know where to go. Am I going to the right?
Okay, why are we going so fast?
Got it.
Guys, this is absolutely absurd. Why did they let us out of the state?
Everyone should move to Colorado. Denver, it's not stressful driving through that place at all. It's like relaxing.
It has been really pretty.
Oh, it's
The mountains have been super pretty.
They're huge mountains, high elevation. We're like, I don't know, close to 10,000 feet right now probably. This is a third season, so our dates are like November 12th through the 18th, which typically I associate with the really good rut dates. I guess in Colorado, I've heard that they're not as good at dates, that like the rut comes later sometimes than that. I don't know. But there's definitely a big buck rutting over here right now, like crazy. But there's also a ton of does with no bucks. There's like 4 smaller bucks that are chilling around them, not really chasing them. I'm trying to soak it all in, get the full Colorado experience. Hopefully in the form of a really large mule deer buck. I don't have a ton of expectations. It's like fun to try to shoot a mature one because it took me a while to get the tag. Just a heavy mature buck would get me super excited. Doesn't have to like score really well.
Marcus's expectations are always that we're going to get into a plethora of gigantic bucks or bulls. And unfortunately, as time has played out, and that hasn't always been the case. So I think we take advantage of the fact that there is a big buck right now and we go look at it.
It's true.
And if you got a heavy buck this year, that'd be really cool.
I'm still very torn on what to do. I don't think I'm gonna shoot him. You want me to shoot him?
Let's get closer to it.
We keep doing that.
I know, but let's get within rifle range. And then let's see what happens.
Because you know what happens when I get within rifle range.
I know what happens when I get within range.
It's a super nice buck. I'm probably going to regret not going after it. But we just got here and I want to go hunt around and hike around. Like we've only hiked like a half a mile total this whole hunt. I want to experience Colorado. We've only experienced just a tiny little blip of Colorado. We need to go like bounce around on bumpy roads and hike in and do death marches. And here's what's gonna happen is we're gonna go hike around and look at like 20 bucks that are all smaller than this one, and then we won't be able to find this one again. And then on the last day, I'll shoot something smaller than him. I've always been intrigued with mule deer. Hunting them, for sure. But some of my favorite places on the landscape seem to be their favorite places as well. Many of my recreational activities have led me into being in the same areas as them. As mule deer have seen range-wide declines, it has made me wonder, what has caused their numbers to sink? And of course, there is no simple answer.
The deeper I dig into learning about mule deer, the more things I find that can impact the population. Disease, habitat, migration corridors, predators, hunting, increased competition from elk, human recreation, just to list a few.
Eventful day. That was sweet.
Yeah, we saw a ton of deer throughout the day.
It's like, saw those cranes. That was super cool.
The cranes were definitely the highlight of Colorado so far. The dinosaur noises that they made, and they just filled the entire air, and you could just hear them from miles away, and then they just like swarmed over top. Super cool. That was like, that was the coolest, because I've never seen that many cranes come over me at one time. That was super, super cool. I really liked that a lot.
Gonna go get the wood stove going, get some dinner going.
Cool.
Get back after tomorrow. We got 6 more days.
Marcus made some pre-made burritos and he vacuum sealed them. And his big thing is to boil and bag burritos, elk and vegetable burritos. He froze them previously, we brought them in the cooler. Now you just like put them in water, heat it up, it'll heat through, and then we'll just split them up. We brought hot sauce. They're sneaking.
What?
The man is sneaking with his gun.
Oh, really?
He's laying down. Like he's gonna shoot at something.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm watching him.
What?
I'm watching the buck.
Where is the buck?
Way to the left of him. Walking. He stopped if he's gonna.
They're on his gun.
I feel like it's probably not broadside for him right now. Oh, he's running again. Don't stop, bud. Don't do it. Don't stop. He's gonna shoot you if you do. Uh-oh. He's slowing down. Oh, he shot him. He's dead. The buck I was hemming and hawing about just got shot. So he's no longer an option. It's crazy. I was filming it in the spotting scope and it just fell down, straight down. And then you hear the shot like 10 seconds later. A long ways away. Well, good for them. They got him. Makes our decision easy. We can't get distracted by him anymore, I guess.
With hunting, it is very easy to see the direct impact, killing an animal and removing it from the land. But as modern wildlife science has shown us, hunting is one of the easiest factors to understand and to control. But it's those other factors, the ones that are hard to see, hard to control, that are often the much bigger population drivers for deer herds. We know that things like severe weather, snowpack, drought, all drive survival in a big way. But we can't control those things. But what we can control is human actions. Our friend Jim Heffelfinger chairs the Mule Deer Working Group, and they've compiled data across the species range to learn how we can conserve this iconic species. Again, knowing that we can't change the weather, scientists and managers are more intrigued by those human factors that we can manipulate, such as where we build roads, houses, fences, energy developments. But another factor that we could potentially manipulate, but largely do not, is human recreation. Many people view hiking, skiing, dog walking, shed hunting as a non-consumptive use of the land. You're not directly killing anything. It's usually not that detrimental to the habitat. But just because you don't see the direct impact doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
This is as Kara calls it, the deer lek. Describe to us the deer lek.
The deer lek is where all of the deer come to breed. And so they all gather in their cute little gathering zone. It's their little lek. If you go outside the lek, there are no deer, which, well, there was like
We found some deer.
There's like a
outside.
handful of deer, but they're
They're-
mostly just gathering here. This is like their breeding zone.
Oh yeah. I will 100% shoot that deer.
Is he a shooter?
Yes.
What? What?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Kara spotted this buck on this hill. It's definite shooter in my book. But he's looking right at us. He's definitely knows something's up.
It's pretty wide.
He's super wide. He's got extra points on his right. He's huge. I mean, not a giant, but... And now he's going to the trees. All right, let's make a play. Pretty sure I can make the shot from here. There's that big valley between us, and I just feel like the wind might be unpredictable in the between. And it's 520 yards. It's a long shot. Yeah. So let's go do the close range thing. Shoot him at 100. I'll stay here. Yeah, into his glass. So keep eyes on him. Okay. See everything. It's so hard to get out of sight. The wind is totally wrong to go from the top. So I think we gotta come in. It's gonna be really close. When we get over there, just ditch the tripod and go straight handheld because it's gonna be like 50, 60 yards if it goes the way I'm thinking. So it might happen quick. He's like 150 yards out. What the f? I knew. Should just wait for the wind to calm down. It's dumb. Well, because when we started to get closer, the wind was swirling, and I just panicked because we were already, I thought we were within 100 yards, and so I just basically rushed into it. He was only 50 yards, but I could see his tines, and that's why I just like crept up, and I was like, he's gonna stand up and I'm gonna get a shot. But when he stood up, it was just completely obscured behind the tree. And he just, and like, in my mind, I for sure was gonna get, like a quick shot, because I could see on either side of the tree, and he just disappeared. I have no idea. Like, I don't, Kara probably knows. The does went this way. If he went the way the does went, I would've got a shot. He just like, it looked like he ran right at this cliff, because I could see that saddle. He must have run up this, well, there's no tracks there yet. I have no idea. I cannot figure out where the hell he went. I'm stupid. God. Well, I have a feeling we won't ever see that buck again, unfortunately. We spooked him at 50 yards. All right, I'm gonna go back, find some more, see if these ones that were over here come out again.
That is painful to watch. Well, back to learning about mule deer. The human population continues to grow rapidly in the same states where mule deer reside. In Colorado, the projected population by 2050 is over 8 million people. And according to a recent survey, 92% of Coloradans participate in some sort of outdoor recreation at least once a week. There have been several studies that examine the impact of human recreation on mule deer, and this is what they found. When humans approach mule deer, very often the deer are going to run. In fact, one study found that mule deer have around a 70% probability of spooking if someone walks within 390 meters, with that probability increasing the closer the human gets. It also doesn't appear to make much of a difference if the human is hiking, biking, fishing, skiing, whatever. Deer just don't love humans being close to them. Imagine that. And while it might be easy to think that causing a deer to run a little ways doesn't have much of an impact, multiple incidents begin to add up, especially during the spring, when deer can be in very rough shape after a long winter. Many popular spots for recreation overlap with prime mule deer habitat. When you start thinking about a 390-meter buffer on either side of every trail, the available habitat begins to shrink rapidly. Throw in the mix of shed antler hunters in the spring, going off trail and actually targeting areas that the deer are in, and they can face a ton of disturbance. Researchers have also looked into humans' perception of the issue and found that many recreation users like to blame other user groups not associated with themselves. No one seems to think that their activity is responsible for stress on mule deer. And that's where it's really hard to persuade anyone to change. And I get it. One person spooking a deer doesn't cause it to starve, but 30 people spooking that same deer could.
It's cold, it's windy. The deer are not out as much. We saw just a handful of does this morning. We're gonna go for a hike where I spooked that big buck, because I don't know what else to do. I'm just hoping that we can find him again. So we're gonna do a big loop, see what we can turn up, hopefully see something. We can't see anything yet from the road, so we're just gonna keep hiking because it's really cold. It's really hard to sit on a knob when it's this cold, so let's walk. Yeah?
Yeah.
After several days, many miles of hiking, many hours behind the glass on cold, windy ridgetops, we finally got our Colorado experience. We got to look over a ton of deer. And eventually, we found ourselves within rifle range of this super cool buck.
Here we go.
He's going down.
While killing a buck was the ultimate goal, the best part of this trip was hanging out with Kara and Corey. Exploring new areas and just having a good time. And then to cap it all off, chilling in the wall tent, eating fresh tenderloin and backstrap. Those are the memories that are the most vivid. We as hunters, we obviously have an impact. We are out there harassing and killing wildlife. But a key point to hunting is, the impact is relatively known. We know how many hunters have a permit and could potentially kill a deer, and managers can adjust that number accordingly. But managers can't currently adjust the number of shed hunters, dog walkers, bikers, or skiers. Those activities are largely left unchecked. And I don't know what the answer is. And the decline of mule deer is definitely not solely due to human recreation, nor is it hunting. But they are all small pieces of a much larger puzzle.